opposite emotional spectrum over here. I can't keep it in. About, oh, okay, Odyssey, Spider-Man, 2 big movies making billions of dollars.
My wife too.
Were they filmed in L.A.?
No.
Nope. No.
They're one was filmed in the
I'll be
UK,
home in
and the other
like
was filmed all over the
5-10
fucking
minutes.
place.
You want to hop on Baldur's Gate?
Like, you're right. These two things are not necessarily connected, right? This doesn't take into account the fact that they're making half as
We made
many
like 0
streaming shows
progress
as they were
last
a
night.
couple years ago, and all those people are now scrambling, looking for more employment. Like, it doesn't take into account a lot of things. Look, when you look at the box office is having a very good year compared to where it's been previously. Yep. You can't argue that. There's been big surprises. Like, I think Michael hitting $1 billion.
I think when you hit it with the hammer, then it becomes vulnerable to the attacks.
$700 million was a big surprise.
I think we have to hit it.
Things like Obsession, making as much money. There has been some big
attack the
surprises
shit out of it, and then it'll revert back to invulnerable and get hammered again.
We expect $2.5 billion.
Which is annoying.
Right, Odyssey obviously is going to probably end somewhere in like 1.3, 1.4 billion.
Yeah, and I only think, yeah. Yeah. I only think we can make like 2 weapons. She's wants to walk tonight. Would you be more up to it? Well, because I messaged the chat asking if you guys want to walk. Has Fee's gotten married to that chick yet, or still just boyfriend, girlfriend? I guess like when he moves down to Florida, I guess that's when he'll probably post or whatever.
4 last stop standing.
Nice.
Hello there! Shock!
Op 4 eliminated.
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, I think she lives in Florida. Why? Might be mistaken. I probably do.
$1 billion. We were questioning whether that could get to $1 billion or not. There have been some big pauses from the box office, way more than they've had to brag about over the last couple years. Doesn't mean there haven't been any failures, but it's different to talk about the industry of Hollywood versus how the box office is performing.
It's also a bit of a house of cards too, because a lot of it is obviously a lot more money being made from a lot less people. Because if you look at how ticket prices have changed, I mean, there was a pretty consistent increase in ticket prices over the course of just the entire history. You just look at the last 5 years or so, especially since COVID time, it has jumped exponentially higher.
It's gone from about $9.50 per ticket on average in like 2019. Would you say around that, Odin?
Just about that,
to 15, 16.
Oh, great! Repairing console storage.
And that,
amazing.
again, if you look at every year before, it's like small,
fucking
incremental,
retarded
small, incremental, and
PlayStation.
now it's just a massive jump. So Yeah, obviously the money is there. The money is very real, but the number of people, you can only do that so often, right? Because the prices are going to keep getting higher, because that's just the nature of these.
Each
of
console
how the
gets
beast works,
worse and
basically.
worse.
And as the prices get higher and higher and higher, that's going to be less and less and less people, and you can only sustain that for so long.
It's like double
So it's
inflation.
diminishing returns.
The PS5 wasn't
It's
turned
double
off
inflation
properly.
when we're talking
Fuck
about ticket
off.
sales, because not only you're dealing with just standard the devaluation of the dollar,
Fucking stupid
inflation,
thing,
the type
man.
of thing that applies to every.
You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Oh, fucking soaked.
Reload. On your feet.
One op remaining.
Bringing hand online.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
Okay. I'm gonna get on the game. I'll just, I'll wait for you to join. Are there any new maps on, Siege?
Thing, whether it's milk, eggs, cars, houses, all this shit, right? But then the tickets themselves, because so many theaters have gone away from the hey, let's cram as many motherfuckers as we can in these things to okay, we're gonna give you a recliner, we're gonna limit the amount of seats, but we're gonna make it a premium experience. So it's like ticket sales have gone far and above where they should be standard inflation.
I'm tired.
Well, and as like these theaters are trying to survive and stuff, the reality is too, yeah, there's a handful of movies that did well. That's not going to save the theaters. You need all of it. You need big budget movies that do really well. You also need smaller films that do well and stuff like that. You know, the other
So
part
far
of
we
this
have
is
18
for Hollywood,
hours into this
you know, a handful
playthrough.
of these films that did really well this year are indie films made by YouTubers, like that didn't go through the traditional channels for a lot of this
Guess
stuff.
we're still
and
technically
to
in
get
like
there.
the
So
first
Hollywood isn't even actually seeing the level of
area,
success
or
they
the
thought
first,
they did. And yeah, two
part of the
movies that
game.
we all kind of thought were going to be really successful
So go
blowing
back to
up
the
doesn't save the industry because the foundations
To
are
locate
cracked
a
and it was
bomb.
already in free fall for most of it. Like, you know, they're still going to be pumping out garbage films. They're not going to learn the lesson all of a sudden. Oh, okay, we got to get back to writing good movies. They're going to pick up the wrong lessons. We're about to see that happen again because, you know, Disney's about to double
Maybe.
down on Doomsday.
I don't
Be
know
like,
if
cool,
once you get into
Spider-Man
the
made a lot
Shadow
of
Realm,
money.
you can
Let's
go
hope
back
Doomsday
to the
does
previous
same
areas,
thing.
so
But like that's
have
not
to
going to save the industry.
wait and
which
see
is
for that.
falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, like if you go in the Underdark, you can still go to
we are at a
the
cultural inflection point. Not even just
Yes,
the
people.
culture, but inside of Hollywood, I think they're
10
starting to
seconds.
realize, and to take it back to
5 seconds. Locate and defuse a bomb.
What do you think about them Amalekites, dog? Wait, why did God tell them kill all of them?
Loading new mag.
Three more in position.
Must recover the diffuser. Down to one friendly. Op 4 eliminated all friendlies.
What round is it?
The streamers are not producing as much new content now. Why? Because they can't afford to do it, and every time they do it, it degrades the value of the franchise they're making an expansion to. Like, the streaming business is killing franchises. So, like, you know, earlier we were talking about, like, do a Batman show. It's like, they can't afford to do a Batman show. Superman is dead. That will kill Batman. We are about to watch the death of Green Lantern. And further than that, we have to get... They have to get people going to the theaters again, because that is where direct dollars, butts and seats equals dollars. So I think, yeah, we're making all of this money. It's like, yeah, but less and less people are going. And I think they're starting to recognize that. And I think, I say all of this to say, I think the messaging that they really want to push is not going anywhere, but it is getting more covert. More so than ever before. They are just ingraining it in the soul of the very thing. They're marketing a different thing to you to get you to go to the movie, and then you're going to be sitting there, end of Oak Street. You're like, hey, dinosaur movie. You'll be watching. You're like, hey, this is like kind of you might be able to take your kids to this. It's a little actiony. It's got dinosaurs, a little scary, but so is Jurassic Park. Oh, that's a 3-minute segment of dinosaurs humping. Okay, I'm not taking my kids to this.
Yeah, it's basically woke 2.0 to quote AOC at this point.
10 seconds to
Woke
insertion.
1.0 obviously went a little too far, guys. Got a little crazy. Had to walk back a bit, but yeah, we're in the age of woke 2.0.
You also have
Op 4 has located a bomb.
So, you're a big shot.
Throwing a mine. Dread mine on.
My evil eye has your back.
have the snowball effect on the other side of Hollywood's decline, because people have talked about how COVID broke people, the people going to the cinema, but it also happened in Hollywood that if you're just used to an industry being made in the same place, you'll keep going there. The moment you start making things internationally, though, you now create a competitor, because it's quite hard to do it first, but then you create more jobs there, you create an entire industry abroad, and makes it easier to shift more and more things. And places like the WGA should be very careful, because writers are one of the easiest things to ship anywhere in the world. You can write from a beach in Hawaii, and just with a laptop, and still write a good movie kind of thing. And so I think that we'll realize over time, Hollywood doesn't need to be in one place. It doesn't even you could spread it over the entire world and not really affect anything.
What I'm actually most excited about, to be honest, is the new. It's like it's most of our most anticipated movie, that being Godzilla minus zero, because remember that film was made for so little money, and yet was so impressive. And I think that when a movie like that comes out again, more and more people are going to start to realize, oh wait, Obsession made all this money, right? Godzilla, not as much, right? Minus one didn't make nearly as much as one would think, like, for costs and everything, but obviously very successful because of that low budget. But it's starting again. We're going to see the most successful films of this year are going to be the ones that had the lowest budgets, surprisingly.
Yep.
And when we're thinking about these box office successes that have been happening this year, and the two recent ones, of course, being The Odyssey and Spider-Man, there's been some massive bombs as well. Supergirl, Moana, and those are just the recent ones. Hollywood has a long way to go before they dig themselves out of this hole, and I don't think
Interesting with Supergirl, though, a lot of the reviews are now like, well, this is why they weren't concerned about Supergirl, because Lanterns is so amazing, it's going to carry the DCU forwards into the future.
Of course.
Well, yeah, if you look ahead to September major movie releases, Practical Magic 2, Resident Evil, Forgotten Island, Avengers Endgame re-release.
New footage.
Heart of the Beast, By Any Means, Onslaught, The Uprising, Runner, Tom and Jerry Forbidden Compass, and Mayday the following month, Digger, Other, Mommy and Big Girls Don't Cry, The Social Reckoning, Street Fighter, and Clayface. So we're not talking about anything that's going to be a juggernaut at the box office. So we pretty much from now until November, it's back to basically you're going to need Odyssey and Spider-Man to carry you through for the next 3 months, which they won't. They won't. I mean, they'll probably do fine in August, but we'll be right back at the same situation. Yeah. So unless you release a Nolan and Spider-Man film every fucking week, I wouldn't go out and start saying Hollywood is back, and particularly the industry, the centralized industry that is breaking up and has been for a while now.
Secure the bomb.
For a long while now. And to the point where you'll see an article in 2 months going, what happened? We just had 2 big movies. What happened? What happened was Rob Bonta and your state and city government that keeps you from making anything, plus your unions, which nobody in Hollywood will criticize at all, ever. They're like, I'm a union guy. That's the kind of fear they put in your heart. The thing is, though, they obstruct you from being creative, from being innovative, and right now it's just filled with redundancy.
10 seconds left.
We had we did an interview with the producer who.
Bomb. Get ready to engage.
Secured. Device primed. Keep an eye on doors. On ammo. Wall is reinforced. Electroglow is on.
말보다는 행동이지.
compromised.
말보다는 행동이지.
Down to 15 seconds. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds left. The time limit has
Who
been
said they had to get a specific guy to hit a smoke button. They had the wrong guy to hit a smoke button, so they had to bring in a union guy to hit the smoke button.
No joke, Gary. I was talking with one of the bigger artists in the industry recently, and he was telling me, because he has all the contacts with all the other big artists, he was talking to me about a guy that worked for Disney in the concept art department, and he got fed up and left the company because they had 4 people doing concept work where one guy would do a sketch, then they'll pass it on to one guy to kind of fill it out, then they'll pass it on to another guy to do the final rendering, and then the last guy would do 3D modeling of it, and there was no artistic actual direction. Like, the artist just wanted to make some really cool stuff, cool concepts, everything like that. But unions force additional people being hired for redundant jobs where it just creates a sterile, factory line production thing that creativity can't even be
Almost done.
expressed. And that's just one example that I was told of recently. And we've, those strikes that happened recently to force additional writers in the writing room and things like that. It's like, as a writer, I would hate that, try to balance creative ideas with 10 other people to try.
Especially when they're black people and women, Shad. Imagine that. That's rough. Be careful though. Talking about unions, there was a guy who's really mad at me because I was shitting on unions earlier.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was very mad at me in the chat. I mean, I've had multiple family members that have been in unions my entire life, and I had to work right alongside lazy dog shit union workers for about 4.5 fucking years. So I've had my fill of unions. In my opinion, people that love unions are the type of people who are so shitty at their jobs they desperately need a union, otherwise they get fucking fired. Unions had their place. Unions had their place in the fucking 1910s when people's arms were getting chopped off and falling in like hamburger machines and stuff like that, right? They had their uses. They're completely and totally irrelevant now. All they do is bloat the system. All they do is line their own pockets. All they do is make everything less efficient. Unions are fucking trash anywhere you go. It's the only reason they exist is to line the people in top pockets and to protect people who deserve to be fucking fired, either because they're massive pieces of shit or because they're lazy, inept workers. Fuck unions.
A great movie to show this is On the Waterfront. It's one of the best films ever made. It talks all about the fact that unions are so corrupt.
Reinforcing wall. Got us a new tribe.
Loading new mag!
Down to 15 seconds. 10 seconds to go.
Reloading.
Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
If at one point you go, we have to organize so that we can protect people from bad situations, because the Hollywood machine grinds people up that are in unions too, and they don't really give a shit, and bad stuff does happen. But yeah, at a certain point, people have to start justifying their jobs when everything's safe and everybody's happy and everybody's working. So you figure out new ways to create new fees and add new things and tack things on. And the smoke button thing is like that happens all over the place. People have been fired on movie sets for picking up trash because they were just like, oh, I saw a cup on the ground and I picked it up. Or literally you could be fired on a set because a piece of set equipment fell over and you grabbed it and picked it up, and then you took that job from the guy that just stands there hoping for something to fall over. And that's not a joke. You get fired from that and then have to pay fucking union fees. And the other part of this that we've talked about before too is that when they're not working, these people are sitting at home hoping to get a fucking job and still having to pay their fucking union fees and their union dues. And then when they get called up by a friend, they go, hey man, I'm gonna make an indie film. And they go, hey, all right, I gotta call the union. They go, hey, my buddy's making an indie film. I want to work with him, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be $100 in a sandwich to work for him. They go, nope, that's not enough money. You deserve more than that. Go fuck yourself. You can't work with your friend. And that is a real thing that happens all the time. I've worked with union people that go, hey, don't fucking mention this to anybody that you work with me because I could get in so much trouble for being here right now. Like, because but I just want to fucking work. Like, and that's the thing. Like, people are like, I work for way less than the union offers. I can't because I don't have any other option. It's a fucking mess over there, and it's a huge part of why the industry is in the state that it's in, which is why all these...
Arch was going to give an example.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, it extends into gaming. We've seen a fantastic example of how destructive it is in Bethesda right now, the 14 levels of management. There was one of their little TikTok things from the laid off people where you see a lead head character design artist, like a character designer at Bethesda, a company that hasn't made anything but fucking Lego men for 20 years. This is just nonsense. Like, everyone who was laid off had a double title in the name. I think one was like lead bilingual customer support in German.
What?
These are just made up titles where you just...
Oh, wait, you're watching the Optic versus LG, Anaheim?
Yeah. It's the first time I'm playing against my former team at a real tournament.
Yeah, because I remember they beat you guys
they
up.
They ran us at the Pro League. They ran everyone, to be fair.
Dude, yo, you know what's funny is I've watched. Here, I'll let you show my screen. I've watched this VOD before, and it's look where's the last time snipe I had. This is Zin's first match, like his first Optic like juicer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like rivalry,
Yeah. And he wins map 1 too. Like, he's like, oh my god, this formal sim's awesome.
His formal sim, you said?
Yeah, he's like, this formal sim's great. Everyone's cheering for me.
Oh my god.
Fuck. This guy thinks I'm horrible.
Yeah, fuck. I miss Anaheim, bro. Maybe it's because it was my first event, so I got to experience, you know what I mean? Experiencing that for your ever land, not even, I didn't even play it local before that, so I was just like, what the fuck? This is insane. You guys play this shit all the time? I'm thinking UMG Cali is gonna feel the same.
Right. But I came out putting on, by the way.
Yeah, you did.
I came out like
you were ready for this.
This is ready. I'm like, this is real now.
You were ready for this.
Yeah, this is like an actual match.
Absolute blowout, a bloodbath during stage 2.
Your team is so down to roll over in the first 2 hills at least.
Yeah, they're like, what? It's Optic, bro. We always do this.
John trying to win some key gunfights here, but you can see on X-ray, there's a whole lot of green here, Joe.
Now there is luminosity, push for that scrap time.
One way.
It's going to be a 4 versus 3 down low, and Octane, he's able to find a couple of methods, finds one on So John, now he's just going to wait for his...
He doesn't even see him. Oh, John's blocked, man.
15-point lead, but you already have Crim 6 inside.
Ready to go.
He's in a great position. He's going to find another one on a J-cap, just staggering that luminosity push.
A great hold here at Doc's Warehouse. You're going to have another crack.
I like the hit marker on Jin's gun.
So you have a bit of an edge here if you can make the push. They're trying to find an opening. Octane holding inside the window. The collapse starting to come in, but now Scump's got involved in the action. He's the one that's...
Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, Luca.
Oh my god.
I was like that.
So you've gotten all this time so far.
Am I still alive?
I don't know, dude, you're like, I feel bad for you because like I can tell right now, like I know exactly what mood you're in because like that's like.
Yeah, this mood sucks.
That sucks.
Mood sucks.
You don't just get to rekindle it too, like.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I don't know, all the viewers just like purposely leave and don't come back. Like.
Everybody else on LG double negative. As you said, you can't get outslayed by Optic Gaming. They're perfect right now in those respawns. We'll see if they can turn it around. But Formal is going off.
Yeah, I mean, Formal's having a great game, but like you said, slow start from everybody else. But I think you feel pretty good if you're LG with this current scoreline, considering how.
So you'd be breaking this down right now for stream then crash. You'd be like, look, I'm literally dub pause from.
So my computer right now, Brandon, on my streaming PC, like I'm looking at it, I'm trying to refresh my like dashboard for Twitch, and it says the site can't be reached. Somehow I'm like still on the internet, but it looks like I'm in offline on my computer right now.
It looks like you're not even online.
Yes.
But then your chat's trying to talk to you and trying to bring you back to the moment. Like, yours works.
That's what's like tweaking the fuck out.
Okay, that would vary.
I had to just check it on my phone.
You're even playing worse in this VOD now because of it. I'm not even joking.
Keep freezing? Yeah, that's great.
Win this rotation or win this scrap time, and they're going to head down towards Great John. Able to win that one. Good job by LG. It looked a little bit scary there, but they brought it back.
Absolutely. You know, you got beat up a barrel. Sorry, got beat up a bit at the warehouse, but a barrel, you're able to at least contest, find some time, and if you
Yo, Big Dog, Red? Is that the same? Red Dog was playing? The IW, you know what y'all? IW? Oh no, that's the British. That's the
Work your
like,
line. Chat. I
you're
can only
European,
see
right?
my chat on my phone, so no, it's not
somebody else.
Wait, you still there? Don't mute up. It's just scaring me.
No, I think once we kill it,
constantly hear noise. You're right.
Yeah,
should be
I was just like talking to my pet about like
dead
bro,
for
whole
good.
Yo, do you remember any of the S&D kids? You probably don't, cause like do you like the names like B Jinx sound familiar?
Okay, hit it.
So very you think they're lying? You could have been good enough to go pro at CS instead of fraud, would you? I mean, yeah, but like, that's a huge if, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if it snowed tomorrow,
no,
then just like go to the outdoor rink and play hockey. You know what I mean? But
is this thing supposed to lower?
No chat. Somebody type.
I'll move Will. Or do you want Will there?
It's just always annoying as a streamer when your shit just like crashes.
Dude,
it's like they don't
make a mistake there, dog, or?
Yeah, that's it.
Like you just sound like a robot for like a split second.
And that's enough to like throw you off for like
Yeah,
20 seconds. You're like freeze. You're like using mentally to see like, is this a sign? Do I have to see like if it just goes away? And now you have
Dude, I
to,
can't
so many thoughts
fucking-
that just like freezes you, dude.
I know. I was just gonna call in TNT, but it's like 7 o'clock in the night on a Saturday.
When you talk to them too, they like it's like you're talking to a CDL rep. You're like saying go shit.
I
To
know.
them,
I'm already
dude. Like,
buried. Like I don't want them to just bury me even more. Like,
Methods at least able to get two in that scenario, but yeah, you still spawn blue truck there for Luminosity. Now some streaks actually coming from the Optic Gaming side. It's
you think in Zin's head after this map 1, like he was like,
yeah,
he was
whatever
like,
you're about to say. Whatever you're about to say.
yeah.
We probably saw it in the throwbacks this week. It was probably very similar. Like how he was walking around like he's glowing and shit.
Yeah. He thought he was like
every
bro,
map
he
he'd win, he'd like
thought he was the next, he was the successor for sure.
He would stroll over to the desk and like stand behind and just stare at Seth's chat. Be like, I mean, chat, what do you expect?
The chat is insane, dude.
Fucking.
Looks like your right foot is in the lava.
93-month reset, holy shit. 93. How long is that, chat? Somebody fast math.
It's like
5 years is 60 months.
Oh, fuck me.
That's 72, 84, 7. That's almost 8 years. That's like 3 months away from 8 years.
Is that your longest?
No.
Your turn?
I have one that's like,
Where do I go from here? I think my longest is 128.
and it's somewhere in
I
there.
have like 2 that are 128.
Chat, is there anyone that's sub longer than 93 months in here? That's insane, by the way. Like, even when I see like anything past 60 months, I'm like, holy shit! Like,
yeah,
maybe not 60, like 80, 80. Not saying 60 is not insane. That's also insane, but it's more like
100 months. I've seen somebody from Bergen with me.
yeah, but yeah, right.
You see me go to Halo too, like just get fat. Like it's just like such a weird.
Silver, thank you for the city. I appreciate it, bro.
Okay, are you able to move Will up? I think he's probably close enough to get hit right there.
I actually can't. They were all one in the series.
Yeah, they were all playing sides. Didn't even try first round.
Alright, get him out of there.
Of course, that's gonna get shit.
Seth always gets his.
I got that teammate on the thing that was like the first region.
Okay. Nice.
You're always out of the streak.
That's fast forward. You said the search was like crazy?
Wait, it's still immune to what now?
Like, wait, what is this thing on screen right now? Luminosity has only won 34.78% of their attack.
Oh, dude, that did a lot of damage. It's down to like 120 now. I didn't.
Probably not great.
Did that happen last time?
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, Zin was feeling himself after that shot. He was feeling himself. He's a John sniper bad. I just didn't like
Yo,
the
look
sniper.
this. Yo, I'm telling you, he was nice with it this map. Like, he was actually ripping. It didn't even start off that good. I was in flirting with death. And look at John's class. No Daddy, just like armored just squaring. Like,
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
loud as fuck. Like, it's such a blackout.
So
class.
blacked out, dude.
But then look, he just strafes and gets, look right here.
What the?
I'm
oh
like,
my god.
Dude, I remember seeing that, like, yo, hello?
What the fuck?
That's what I'm saying, like.
Where did that just come from?
Wait, try to hit it again.
It snipes him too. Kills him too. It's like, yo, we got shit on.
Fuck.
He looks to you, by the way.
Well,
bro, he had a, like something so like he did that like same exact shit like a couple rounds later. Like, you're still alive, though, right?
I'm still alive, but like, my chat just keeps like, I can see it on my phone still moving, but like my chat on my PC
just dies.
Just dies. I was like, no one thought that shot was gross from John. And then I was like, oh, it actually froze. Yeah.
Oh, chat said I fuck with his name, just John.
It is a hard.
I fuck with it. John. They called him Juan Juan back then, bro. What was his like ethnicity? Was he just like white?
No.
Barrett? Was he? Or were you Mexican?
I think he was like Puerto Rican, maybe. What's that? Remember.
Oh, so that's why not called him Juan Juan. Okay, wait, never mind. That's different.
A lot of people called him Juanito for a while, I think. Can I clutch this? No way. It's so hard to clutch.
You're trying to get active. You're like, fuck it, dude. We gotta go.
At least I'm playing to actually win the round. Like, it's the only chance.
Yeah, you're playing for the win run.
How faded I was.
yeah. I mean, like, you lost the round.
Drop your weapon.
What, he faced up 3, maybe the ace. We'll have to find out. It was a great round.
Look at him. So good.
Oh, boy.
You guys have been so good.
Well. And
we're
gonna die.
Or the next one.
I mean, that first one was pretty insane.
Dude, I'm telling you, he does it again. Like,
does he? Actually, I don't remember.
Yeah, like bro, like the same rhythm too. Like this, like you know how like the kill was 1, 2, like it was the same. Like the second kill was the same timing. It was like.
What do you think about the setup from LGI?
Probably that's like one spot he played.
We played this map for sure. This map is dog shit, bro. Like, I just was like 18 years old. No one would have respected my opinion. This map's awful, guys. Like, shut the fuck up, rookie. Whatever the fuck they were saying.
Like Austin and Lamar.
Okay,
Like,
here's what we're gonna. I'm gonna go
fucking rooming with each
the
other.
far side, where those fucking things spawning, like the goblin things, and hopefully me and Karlak can aggro them, and you will can go with that fucking
Go to my chat said, did you play this COD?
robot thing.
I'm getting like the queen's fading. The queen's fading. This guy probably thinks I'm awful. He probably thinks I'm like awful.
He thinks you're the dynamic only.
He's probably like, dude, he probably started watching me like MW2 and I was tweaking. Like, or some shit. Like
I would assume the more center it is,
okay. Like, I think
more damage it does, but I feel if we get it hit one more time, then it's dead, because it already did what, like 170 damage that one time.
No, it's the next round maybe because you guys, it was the same area. It was the AO.
So yeah, I'm gonna stay over here with Karlak because where those things spawn.
John's so deep, bro.
He just walked him down.
He just came from fucking back alley A, and he's like, "Fat B." Bro, there's not a single bone in his body that hesitated. Like,
She's still here. He's still set up inside.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Whatever.
welcome to the show.
At least
My
we
name is Matt
can
Morrison.
say
You are
we'll get
tuning
XP
into
for
the
this at least.
Report, and boy, howdy,
Everything else is
everyone.
horse
We
shit.
really have one hell of a show ahead
Oh,
for us
yo,
today.
don't forget
First
to
off,
pair,
ladies and gentlemen, AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her entire political career has pretty much just imploded after she just said, frankly, what is perhaps one of the single most politically idiotic things of all time. And now, she's getting absolutely torched from every single angle. Left, right, center, by the way. What's more, guess what? All of this right-wing extremism that we have all been forced to hear about for well over a decade now, guess what? It doesn't actually even exist. No, it was all part of a highly funded, highly coordinated left-wing psyop. And now, great news. The perpetrators of this left-wing psyop are actually getting arrested. Criminal accountability, folks. That is what we're talking about today. Also, one of our nation's most progressive states has just made an absolutely massive mistake, attempting to violate the Civil Rights Act on behalf of Islam. Seriously, I kid you not. And so now, all hell has broken loose. Folks, we have a big show ahead of us today. Do me a favor, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe, follow, Rumble. We're on YouTube. We are on Instagram, Morris Report, Facebook, Morris Report, X, Morris Report. Do me a favor. If you ever consume audio podcasts, you're at the gym, you're commuting, you're driving around town, Spotify, Apple, iTunes podcasts, Morris Report, find us there. Go drop a 5-star review and follow. It really helps a ton. And hey, also, go check out MorrisReport.com. We have 24/7 breaking news articles coming out all day. Go check it out. Bunch of good stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, with that little introductory preamble out of the way, what do you say we go ahead and get right into the show, because we actually have some pretty big stuff to talk about today. Like I said, why don't we go ahead and start off today's broadcast talking about AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That's what they call her. And she has found herself in some hot water, to say the least. Let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently watching AOC's entire political career go up in flames. You see, AOC has just publicly said what is perhaps the single most comically idiotic thing.
I'll just end my turn and my turn.
History. And now she's getting
Should go to you and him.
Torched. Game over. Seriously, take a look at what AOC just had to say the other day. Listen up.
I have a local city councilman that has this woke one is crazy. And I think that what's important is that we have to assess what extent it is.
How much?
With some of those positions, I mean, you briefly supported funding the police.
Well, you know,
Oh my God.
that
Fuck.
during this time and especially during COVID, there was a huge opening of the Overton window. We were shut down.
I'll try
There were
to.
some of the highest unemployment rates that we have seen because of those shutdowns. And I think that the doors were really open in trying to entertain any and every policy that was going to get us to a better place. And I
Okay.
actually think that
Carlac will try to handle these fucking things.
had in that time were quite fruitful. I think that when we talk about crime today, it's fundamentally different than the way that we talked about crime in bringing crime down, right? And I think that we all share in the goals of having as low a crime rate as possible. I think that, you know, during lockdown, of course, rhetoric in that time is not rhetoric that we would use today. And I'm grateful that these candidates have the opportunity to present who they are to their electorate and what they're campaigning on in this moment.
She says woke one was crazy.
Fuck.
She laughs. Giggling. Folks, what do you say we go ahead and conduct a quick little recap of what these woke one policies actually were? And by the way, the Trump administration has been shutting these policies down for the last 18 months. Workplace DEI requirements, federally funded grants, and business contracts for non-white federal employees and businesses working with the federal government. There's a woke one policy. What about anti-white affirmative action hiring programs inside the federal government? Trump shut those down as well. What about a wide series of scientifically illiterate and incompetent Biden-era executive orders that refused to acknowledge the male-female sex binary? Trump shut those down as well. What about anti-white critical race theory education funding for the K-12 public schools?
I'll try to get Carlac over to.
That was woke one. Trump shut it down also. What about special DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion funding from the federal government for universities that met these arbitrary anti-white student admissions standards? They say, oh, we've got too many white people, we need more non-white people.
Wait, they attacked that thing too?
What about DEI offices and promotional standards inside of the United States military? Trump got rid of that too. Folks, just to be clear, all of that and much, much more, as you all know, is what constitutes woke one, as AOC says. And let's just very quickly let the record show the only reason why woke one is currently dying is because Trump is currently killing it. Woke one didn't just randomly go away. We would be on woke infinity right now if Kamala Harris or God forbid AOC someday were in the White House. The only reason why woke one is kind of on the backseat right now is because Trump has put it in the backseat, slowly strangling it. Now, you know who went nuclear on AOC just this morning? An individual, a man, his name is Seige. You are gonna love this.
Where do you even begin with this? So let's talk about this callous laughter from AOC talking about what she calls woke one. What was one of the central tenets of the so-called woke ideology that the left launched in 2020 in earnest and throughout these last number of years, although of course its ideological roots of Marxism and anti-Americanism and communism and third worldism all of course significantly predate that. What was one of its core tenets? The dismantlement, destruction, and defunding of our police departments. That policy objective.
Oh, what the hell? They killed the.
Today, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, and New York, an unrelenting war against police. The result, the wages of that policy, were a historic increase in murders until President Trump came along. A historic increase in shootings. Dead bodies, drug overdoses, gangs run amok, citizens living in fear, public spaces ceded to violent, thuggish, armed robbers. That was the policy. We're all going to have a good laugh about that? Sorry your husband was murdered. Sorry your mom was killed. Sorry your loved ones are 6 feet under the ground now. We're going to have a good laugh about that? It's sickening. It's disgusting. And the thing is, it never stopped. Look here in Washington, D.C. You just did a segment on the 1-year anniversary of President Trump's D.C. Safe Initiative, where he achieved the largest ever reduction of violent crime, not only in the history of this city,
I'm
but
fucking
the
able to
history of any
move?
city. Nowhere has violent crime fallen so steeply, so quickly, so totally. He had to fight Democrats tooth and nail to reduce murders in the city. He had to fight and is still fighting a city council that at every turn has sided with violent career criminals over police officers. A city council and Democrat allies in Congress that believe if a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old commits a shooting with a gun, firing, spraying bullets on an open street, that they shouldn't even face adult criminal punishment. They should be deposited right back out onto the street, maybe dropped in a halfway house for a couple months to kill or maim or
Got a
shoot or
fucking
rape.
teleportation
That's
spell.
their ideology. That's their philosophy. Because when you strip away all this woke labeling, it's hatred for America, and it's hatred for the people who have made America great. It's hatred for the people who build and sustain things. Look at all of these DSA candidates. Look at all of these radical left ideologues. Look at everyone who proposes all these different woke ideas. What do they have in common? It's
Not enough
people and a
fucking
movement
resources,
that build
dude.
anything. This is a movement. It never ends with a cathedral.
Great.
It never ends with a bridge. It never ends with a brand new airport. It never ends with a secure border. It never ends with a gleaming community. It never ends with a functional school system. It never ends with a beautiful gorgeous park. It never even ends with a presidential library that you can look at and not feel disgust like the Obama library. It's an ideology that looks at what civilization built and is envious and hateful and jealous and says, I will take, I will steal, I will dismantle, I will destroy, and I will redistribute everything that you have built to people who don't belong here and have no right to be here.
Oh my good Lord heavens above. Stephen Miller is absolutely cooking. Oh my gosh.
And everything President Trump has done, Will, think about this. Everything that he's done to try to dismantle that ideology, the left is taking him to court. Every beautiful thing he wants to build, they want to block. Every mile of border he wants to secure, they want to stop.
I should take Shadowheart.
They want to keep here. Every
She has an AoE heal.
that he wants to be housed in their biologically correct prison, they're suing to keep men housed with women. Every school district where he's trying to stop racial discrimination, transgender ideology, the sexual abuse of our children, they're there defending the abusers. They're there defending what's putrid and hateful. On race discrimination,
Let's try again.
every single university to say, just because you're a young white man in this country doesn't mean that you're not allowed to get the same treatment when you're applying for college. They're the ones that are in court every day fighting to say, no, that kind of discrimination is good. That's the kind of discrimination we want. Ripping apart the fabric of society by race, by ethnicity, at the seams. That's their ideology. I'm sorry for this monologue, but it's got to be said, Will. It's never stopped, and it's never going to stop. It can only be defeated when millions of upstanding citizens say, we're not going to let them take our country away. That's what Trump and MAGA and America First is all about and will always be about.
Wow, what a monologue. And of course, as he just said,
Why would you do that?
Okay, we have not won. The battle is over. We are still going. She called it woke one. What is the implicit notion here by calling it woke one? Didn't call it woke. She called it woke one. What is the implicit message? That there will be a woke two. There might be a woke 3, 4, 5, infinity going all the way up. They're just getting going. That's why she says woke 1, 1.0. What's 2.0, do you think? It's going to be even better? No, it's going to be worse for this country. And the only reason why woke 1 is currently dying, it's not dead, it's in the process of dying, is because Trump and his administration have been killing it. In fact, we got an update today. It is still happening. Okay? We're still on the attack. Look at this. Breaking news this morning. Vice President J.D. Vance is referring a bombshell HHS report to the Justice Department this morning that alleges, listen to this, it alleges hospitals in this country deliberately pushed gender-affirming procedures on minors to cash in on fraudulent insurance claims. And now J.D. Vance is calling for criminal prosecution.
How old are you?
48.
How old do you think I am? Or do you know how old I am?
I know how old you are.
Okay.
You're 28.
I know. I googled you.
Okay.
Yeah, I googled you. I googled you the first time I met you at the Hands Games.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
What'd you find?
I don't think I can say on stream.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Say you Canadian. You're a big fan of the Canucks.
How old are you?
48.
How?
The report, titled Wolves in White Coats, reveals that more than $50 million in insurance claims for puberty blockers billed for patients between the ages 13 to 17 from 2015 to 2025. HHS says medical providers intentionally pushed gender dysphoria diagnoses on children to make puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries easier to bill, a pathway paved by Biden-era policies promoting transgender ideology.
Wait, and I think...
The average healthcare cost for a minor in this country is roughly $3,000. However,
Okay, yeah, alright, whatever, just go ahead.
Transitions, that figure jumps to $75,000 without surgery. That's just hormones and blockers. And nearly $170,000 with gender-altering procedures on top. Roughly 225 hospitals nationwide have established pediatric gender programs. Vance's letter to Attorney General Todd Blanche is blunt. Providers who intentionally miscoded treatment to defraud Medicaid and private insurers should go to prison. Folks,
oh my god, I'm an idiot. So the one that I picked, Prayer of Healing, it can only be used outside of combat.
Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of children were brutalized and tortured and misdiagnosed. Also,
I can only heal by touching the person, so I'd have to get to you.
Make some money. This is disgusting. JD Vance says they should go to prison. Personally, I would pursue a slightly more medieval option. We would be going medieval if it were up to me. This is disgusting. But hey, as they say, Woke One was crazy. Woke One was crazy, man. Such a silly time. Thank God it happened, though, right? I think we're all that. That's what she said, folks. Thank God we've got Trump, the Trump administration, J.D. Vance, Stephen Miller, all of them in the White House now, pushing back on this stuff, shutting down Woke 1, Woke 2, Woke 3, Woke forever.
What?
Shutting it down. We got to stay vigilant. The
Why do I need to be
over.
next to everything to use the damn spell?
Pushing back against this stuff. Thank God we've got an administration in the White House that's doing that. That is what it's going to take if we truly want to continue to put America first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I saw this report coming out this morning. The report is titled Wolves in White Coats, talking about these disgusting, psychotic doctors who are pushing this stuff on our children to make money. Folks, we have another two massive stories that I know you're going to like. First off, I want to share some with you. I just want to make sure we're ready to go. There it is. Okay. I think I've got that ready to go.
Another fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been dealing with those everyday aches, stiffness, and pains that seem to show up sometimes after a workout or a long day, or maybe you're just getting older, we all are every single day. Well, here's something worth paying attention to. It's called Relief Factor. In fact, I actually have a bag
Oh my
right there.
fucking god.
More than 1 million people ordered Relief Factor. And what really caught my attention here,
I think he can still get hit by the hammer. Yeah. It's at 99 now.
I think that kind of repeat business matters a lot because people must be coming back for a reason. So here's what I did. Honest to God,
Good.
I actually tried it out for myself. I conducted a little bit of an experiment.
this. Fine.
Now, personally, between you and me, I've got some achy knees. Achy knees from time to time from going to the gym and chasing the kids around. Playing with the dog out back. So I took Relief Factor myself for about 4 weeks.
Let's just, I don't want to do this right now. Let's just do something else in this game.
But you know what I did? Then I did something crazy. I stopped taking it.
Come back to this later.
Pills every single day. And guess what? After I stopped
Yeah, no, let's go back to the Underdark, collect the fucking reward, and then go back to the gift or whatever.
I kid you not. So the
Like,
results of my
I
little
don't know. I feel like we have to be a higher level for this fucking stupidity.
Works. At least that was my experience. Now, here's the deal. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free, research-based formula designed to support your body's natural inflammatory response using a series of natural key ingredients. Ingredients that you can actually pronounce, by the way. Natural key ingredients. So, hey, if you are curious about Relief Factor or what it could do for you, go ahead and start with a 3-week quick start Relief Factor package for just
fast travel
$76. That's right, $17.76.
Okay, yeah, so we can fast travel.
95 cents a day. Go to relieffactor.com or you can call
Yeah, fast travel to
Relief. That is
the Myconid colony, Underdark.
Do me a favor, if you're talking to them, let them know that you heard about it over here on the Morse Report. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been taking
Go collect the reward from this guy, and then we'll go.
doing a good job. I've got my dad doing this stuff too. He just started. I'm waiting to get the results on him. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you something here. We actually have another massive story, and between you and me, I think this one, I think you're probably going to like this one. This one, how can I put this? The day of comeuppance is upon us. Finally we are seeing some justice. Finally we are seeing some criminal accountability. I want you to take a look at this, okay?
And thus we name you Life.
Ladies and gentlemen, right-wing extremism is the #1 threat to the nation. How many times have you heard that phrase over the last 10 years? Millions of times, maybe billions, perhaps. But guess what? Back in reality, here in reality, right-wing extremism is actually so scarce, really it doesn't even exist, that the far left has been secretly funding right-wing terror groups so that then they would have something to point their hypocritical leftist fingers at. Hey everyone, look at those evil, psychotic right-wing extremists. Just don't act who's been funding them. The Democrats. That's who. In fact, if you don't believe me, take a look at this. I think you're going to appreciate today's news. The former CFO, that is Chief Financial Officer of the SPLC, that is the Southern Poverty Law Center, who was in charge of tracking hate groups across the country and was caught overseeing secret payments.
I don't even know if we got any XP.
White supremacist groups, has now been charged by the DOJ for fraud. Let's go ahead and get some information, just so you know who we're talking about. This is her right here.
Their views. I think white supremacy is one of the worst things mankind has come up with. Well, I can have a direct impact on these movements. And just in the first year I was there, we did some very good work, myself and my colleagues, exposing anti-immigrant networks in the United States, some of which are still functioning today. Their views. I think white supremacy is, one of the worst things mankind.
White supremacy is one of the worst things of all time. Well, check this out. She was actually sleeping with one of the white supremacists that she was funding. I kid you not, in one of these groups that she was propping up through her role at the SPLC. She personally funneled $1.2 million to these hate groups that only existed because of SPLC funding. And she's now going to jail for defrauding donors to help support these white supremacists that she was propping up and sleeping with. I kid you not. This is what's going on. Indicted, coming out today. Former Southern Poverty Law Center official Heidi Bereich is her name, was arrested Wednesday on federal wire fraud and money laundering charges alleging she helped funnel $4.1 million in tax-exempt donor funds to violent extremist groups, including
Anything from the merchant?
Ku Klux Klan chapters. The 26-page indictment alleged the SPLC secretly routed donor money through fictitious business accounts between 2007 and 2023, paying field sources who led or were affiliated with these extremist organizations. Prosecutors say the money funded KKK rallies. It recruited members. It purchased materials for robes and cross burnings, and even encouraged 2 Klans members who wanted out of the organization to stay in the movement with monthly payments from the SPLC. Wow. Bereich, 59 years old, this woman here, was charged alongside the SPLC itself with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to submit false statements to a federally insured bank. Attorney General Todd Blanche confirmed the arrest and said the federal investigation remains ongoing. This is insanity. Here she is again. Take a listen.
By taking the money away, they can't function anymore.
And that was successful?
Yes, every single one of them has been successful.
Very well.
Obviously, when these groups don't have money, that means there's less violence that they can perpetrate. You know, the whole idea is to not allow them to function.
The whole idea is to crack down on these extremist hate groups, take away their money, sue them into oblivion so that they don't have the finances to function. Okay, maybe that makes sense on paper, but I do have a little bit of a question. If that's the case, then why are you personally funding the groups to the tune of several $1 million? Why are you sleeping with a member of one of these groups? Why are you funding them to the tune of millions of dollars? I can't exactly make sense of this. FBI Director Kash Patel chimes in. I mean, this is just insane. Money doesn't lie, he says. The charity that supposedly fought the KKK actually directly funded the KKK. The charity that supposedly fought neo-Nazis actually funded neo-Nazis. Heidi Bereich is her name, supposedly dedicated her career to fighting neo-Nazis. The indictment alleges she helped fund them. Bereich allegedly oversaw more than $1.2 million in SPLC donor payments to a neo-Nazi informant she was romantically involved with. She shared a home with him and held 2 joint bank accounts with him.
Oh wait, there was that like castle over there that I don't think we explored yet.
Of that donor money allegedly
There's some shit over there that we can get.
And was used to pay for their personal living expenses. The same informant broke into an extremist organization's headquarters, stole 25 boxes of documents, transported them across state lines.
Dog, you don't like chicken?
The originals. Bereich allegedly knew the documents were stolen, used them for an SPLC story to raise even more money, and then paid another source approximately $6,000 to falsely take responsibility for the burglary. They paid a fall guy.
The hole below you soon
The woman who
plummets into an
supposedly
abyss
fought
of
hate
impossible
allegedly helped
darkness.
pay the very people spreading
Your
it,
call echoes
used
as it
their activity to
plunges
raise
downward.
even more donor money, and personally benefited from the scheme along the way. The Southern Poverty Law Center ran a methodical, calculated scheme to defraud the donors. They're based from millions of dollars and used an illicit banking structure system to sow discord and hate into
I think there's
our
something
society.
here that we need
This
for
is the
other
ultimate
quests.
definition of hypocrisy.
Need to get some of the
Bereich
bark
has
for
now
this
been
tree
arrested
to
in
do
charges
a
of fraud,
create a weapon.
conspiracy, wire fraud conspiracy, conspiracy to submit false statements to a federally insured bank, and conspiracy to commit concealment money laundering. The FBI will follow money, expose the fraud, and find every single individual involved.
Yes.
How ironic, poetic, if you will, is it that the SPLC, who is dedicated to combating right-wing extremism and white supremacy, that for lack of actual right-wing extremist movements, for lack of actual white supremacist movements, they have to manufacture their own. They have to steal money from donors and fund and prop up financially support their own fake white supremacist, right-wing extremist movements. And the reason why it's an entire one, it's about optics. They can say, oh, look at these crazy right-wing extremists. They don't actually exist. It's all fake. And then beyond that, they say, look at these right-wing extremists. You need to, hey, everybody, give us more money so that we can combat them. Somebody's got to combat these crazy right-wing nut jobs, when really, it's them funding it themselves. Folks, none of this stuff would be getting exposed if Trump were not in the White House right now. Thank God he is. Thank God we put him there. Finally, all of these left-wing NGO, anti-American networks are finally getting exposed. And not just exposed, but now, hey, you want arrests? Guess what? Boom. Now they're getting held criminally accountable. We're seeing the charges come out. That is what it's going to take to truly put America first. And you know what? This case here, these charges here, this is sending a message. How many other groups like this you think are kind of maybe doing something similar? Wire fraud, all types of stuff. Deceiving donors. This is sending a message here, okay, to other groups across the country that might be or might have engaged in behavior like this. Okay, we got to shut it down. Listen, now there's accountability. Accountability's back on the table. It's true. Hey, if you start cutting people's hands off every time they commit a crime, before you know it, you stop committing crimes. You don't have to cut off 100. If you got 100 criminals, you don't have to cut off 100 hands. You cut off one hand, and the other 99, they get the message pretty damn fast. They say, okay, we're going to stop being criminals now. Now, folks, we have another story. And this one, man, I saw this one. We have an expose here. It actually kind of made my blood boil. Do me a favor.
See it.
Make
Where
sure
is
you hit
it?
that like button. Make sure to subscribe. It means a lot. It helps a ton. Really, it does.
Oh.
Let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what. One of our nation's most progressive states has just made a massive mistake. And now, not only are they facing pressure from the DOJ, the Department of Justice, but what's more, it seems as if they've just found themselves headed towards a Supreme Court showdown. A Supreme Court showdown, by the way, that they will inevitably lose because they're attempting to violate this radically progressive state. They were attempting to violate the Civil Rights Act in favor of Islam. I did not. Let's go ahead and get right into this. This is going to blow your damn mind. Breaking news coming out this morning. Massachusetts.
Fucking hit once.
Still breathing, despite everything. Still breathing, despite everything. Is that blood? No, never mind. On my way.
Not now.
Bleed at the ready. I shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Great.
Moves to create a Muslim commission to help place Muslims in government positions and shape state policy. The bill that's being pushed through the Massachusetts legislative pipeline here orders it to identify and recommend qualified American Muslims for appointive positions at all levels of government. It would also, quote, assess programs and practices in all state agencies and could request from all state agencies whatever information and assistance the commission requires. So this is a draconian enforcement of Islam, mandatory Islam.
Wait, I took damage, right?
In Massachusetts, you have to have X number of
I get hit me, right?
representatives. It would advise and execute and legislature on proposed laws. The commission would serve as a liaison between government and private interest groups. Yeah, like your local mosque.
Find the fucking.
And it also
God.
could accept and solicit funds, including gifts,
Oh, there's
donations,
a
and grants.
guy in a bullshit up there.
Requests, while hiring a paid executive director and staff. Massachusetts lawmakers, as of today, have already advanced this bill. It cleared committee and is now before the House.
Catch my breath.
Folks, everybody's talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying, woke one. She said, woke one was crazy. Well, you want to know what woke 2 is? Woke 2. Let me introduce you to woke 2. And it's called Sharia law. Sharia law, it's the total Islamic conquest of the United States of America. That is what woke 2 is. That is what they want. And that's what they're trying to do here in Massachusetts. And somebody might say, well, that's in Massachusetts. I live in Idaho. It's not my state, not my problem. You know how this goes. This is step one. First, they try to push this in one state. They do it in one state, then they come for the next state, then another, then another, then another. Domino effect. That's how they play this game. It's the slow anti-American creep. Leftists will spend 30 years crying about separation between church and state, reading the Bible in public schools or public Christian prayers. And then leftists will turn around and pass Muslim Sharia laws through their state legislature. Leftism is always a cynical, dishonest way to purge Christians from public culture in the United States of America. Let me ask you a question. Do you think that's true? You can't help but notice the hypocrisy. Hey, no Bibles in schools, no prayer in schools, no biblical education in schools. You're not even allowed to have a prayer session on the sidewalk. Public property, you can't pray on the sidewalk. Outside the abortion clinic. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. Meanwhile, they're trying to pass Muslim Sharia laws through state legislature. You cannot help but notice the hypocrisy. I think that's 100% spot on. Funny how all of the people complaining about Christian nationalism literally have nothing to say about this. Yeah. Where is MSNBC? Sorry, MS Now. Where's ABC? Where's CNN? Because they've been beating the drum here on Christian nationalism. Remember all those stories they ran about Pete Hegseth a year and a half ago? He had a Christian cross, a couple Christian tattoos on his body. They said, Pete Hegseth is a Christian nationalist. And it's not just him. You've heard the story a million times. They were beating the drum on that forever. So where's CNN talking about this? Nothing. Not a peep. Another one here. Representative Randy Fine. He chimes in, he says, Muslim groups are using our own government to stack the deck, rewrite the rules, and put their people in power, all on our dime and with outside money. These mainstream Muslims do not want to be Americans. They want to conquer America. It's time to get serious about the threat and stop it cold now. Sometimes I see, admittedly, people on my side of the aisle. We're over here on the right side of the aisle. I'll let my bias be known. And sometimes I see people on our side of the aisle. They say, hey, what's up with some of these immigrants? It seems like they're not really assimilating. What's up with that? Listen, we got to do a reality check. Hey, reality check.
Okay, now I know.
Most of these immigrants, in this case, we're talking about some of the Islamically inclined immigrants. They're not here to assimilate. They have no intentions or aspirations. They have no desire.
No, it's not that. I got it.
They become good Americans. They are here to take over. They are here to conquer. They want you, red, white, and blue-blooded American, to assimilate to their culture in your own damn country. That is why they are here. They're not trying to become, they're not going to, you know, put up a white picket fence and have apple pie on the windowsill and get a golden retriever. They're not, and have cookouts in the backyard on the 4th of July. That's not what they're here to do. They're here to conquer, and we need to wake up and realize it. They're trying to take over the country. Matt Walsh, he chimes in, he says,
forming a
unconstitutional. This entire situation is unconstitutional on like 20 different levels. Yeah, of course.
To waste
you can't pass a law that specifically favors one religion. Let's start off with that. And to specifically favor Islam of all the religions is not only illegal, but totally absurd on its face. And you know the DOJ is going to be getting involved. 100%. This is not going to be tolerated. Gad said, he says this, have you ever heard about people from Vietnam or Armenia or Russia asking for such preferential treatment? No Seventh-day Adventist Commission, no Shinto Buddhist Commission, no Hasidic Jewish Commission. No, the Muslims are special. They want something special. They deserve unique accommodations in America because Islamophobia plus America is Islamic land. So they say the United States, it must become the Islamic states. Good luck with that. Good luck. Reporter Laura Logan, she chimes in on this. She says, this is actually very similar to what President Obama did when he told the head of NASA at the time, Charlie Bolden, that he wanted him to stop talking about American achievements in space and instead focus on the achievements of Muslim nations. I'm sorry, what? Barack Obama told the director of NASA back when he was president to stop talking about American space accomplishments and instead talk about the space accomplishments of Muslim nations. Okay, Laura Logan asked Bolden about this herself when she was filming a story with him for 60 Minutes. She had the opportunity to talk to him off camera. He not only confirmed that this request was made, he told her that he was stunned when President Obama said this to him, and he asked him, what achievements have Muslim nations made in space at all? What are you referring to? What Muslim space achievements?
New COD events happening.
And Barack Obama had no answer. He was at a loss for words. I don't know, you just need to do it anyway. You just have to do it anyway. I'm sorry, does Kuwait, do they have a space program? I don't think so. Does Iraq have a Mars program?
Nothing but rocks.
Last I checked, no. But Obama wanted NASA to talk about it anyway. And you know, this is not all of the insanity that has recently come out of Massachusetts. Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey signed a bill just 3 days ago for abortions up to the day of birth. 9-month abortions up to 1 day before the baby's set to be born. That woman should be in labor. She's having contractions, and I changed my mind. I want to have an abortion. That is now the law in Massachusetts. Signed into effect alongside all of these women here. And everyone claps. Listen, folks, I know everybody has different opinions on abortion. Some people, they say none at all. Some people, they say, okay, maybe 6 weeks. Okay, maybe after the first trimester. No, maybe second trimester, but not third trimester. Everybody has different beliefs here. Okay, all of that aside.
Fucking deal with that shit.
Up to the day of birth, 9
like
months.
A turret thing over there.
The day of birth, the mother,
Other way around that.
mother, she's going into labor. And she says, actually, I changed my mind. Get rid of it. What? This is demonic. What in the living hell is going on in the state of Massachusetts? I'm about to say something very controversial. Apologies. Massachusetts does not need 9-month abortions or a Muslim commission. No, Massachusetts, what they might need here is another round of Salem witch trials. Because this is insane. This is insanity. Ladies and gentlemen, you know all of this stuff, namely the Muslim Commission, as it's being called, the DOJ, is getting involved. This is a civil rights violation in violation of the 1965 Civil Rights Act. You cannot give preferential treatment in a state legislature to a religious group, Islam in this case. You cannot do that.
Fuck.
You cannot do that. This will go very likely to the Supreme Court. That would be my guess, at which point it'll get struck down. These people are insane. They're psychotic.
Okay, fast travel to Blighted Village.
We need to remain vigilant if we truly want to put America. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, thank everybody for being here today. I appreciate it. What is it? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Everyone, thank you all very much for tuning in. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot. Can I share something with you folks? I saw something this morning. In fact, I was sitting on the couch having a cup of coffee with my dad this morning. Family's in town. Yesterday was my son's 3rd birthday. Having a cup of coffee with my dad. And he got a text message from one of his friends. Said, hey, take a look at this. You're not going to believe it. It was a link, a text message, to a YouTube video. And this was the footage in the YouTube video that my dad's friend texted him. He shared it with me this morning. Look at this, folks. Put it up on the big screen.
The signing of the, to sign off President Trump is not the president for 2020, Joe Biden. When they had to certify that, they blocked it all. That's when they had the insurrection. And there was no time to sign this certification.
All right. Where do you get your news?
I listen to Matt Morse every day. When the sign off
what the fuck am I
Trump is not the president for 2020, Joe Biden. When they had to certify that, they blocked it all. That's when they had the insurrection, and there was no time to sign this certification.
All right. Where do you get your news?
I listen to Matt Morse every day. The signing of
Smart woman. Hey, she knows what she's talking about. Smart woman, beautiful woman, smart woman. Where do you get your news? I listen to Matt Morse every single day. Folks, we got a member of the Morse Force out here doing streets. She was out there voting for Mike Rogers, looks like out there. All right, hey, the Morse Force is out there. My dad saw that. He said, no way. I listen to Matt Morse. We got the member of the Morse Force out there, folks. And by the way, she might be tuning in. I'm not sure who this is. I'm not sure what this woman's name is. But hey, if that's you, I don't know who you are. Send me a message. That's great. That's awesome. She's out there repping it. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to share. How cool is that? Ladies and gentlemen, let me pull up these super chats and these Rumble rants. Let me get these pulled up here. Once again, thank you all very much for tuning in today. That made my morning. How cool is that? Now, we actually have some Rumble rants. Let me put the Rumble rant hat on the MAGA hat. I don't want to brag. But this is a 2015 MAGA hat. This is one of the OG, one of the original MAGA hats. And I'm not bragging, but hey, we've had this hat here for a long time. It's one of the original versions. Weekday West Rex, he says, I agree with you, Patriot. I'm taking my dad on a fishing and fellowship trip this weekend. America first, and praise the Lord, Christ is King. Rex, thank you very much. Thank you, by the way. On Rumble especially, thank you very much. I'll tell you something here. Talked about this yesterday. Every couple days, we have another one of these jihadist attacks, generally over in Europe. They drive a truck into a crowd of people. They've got a knife. They're stabbing. They're hacking and slashing innocent people. And what do they always yell? They always yell the same thing every single time. Happens every couple days in Europe at this point. They always yell, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Shugamala, Hagamala, Shugamala.
Don't draw any attention.
They always yell the same thing. Allahu Akbar. Anyway, they never yell. What do they never yell? They never yell, Christ is King. Nobody yelling Christ is King is carrying out suicide bombings or mass stabbings. Have you noticed that? Why do you think that is? I can't help but notice. Can't help but notice. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Rex. Thank you. We have another one here. Another one from Rex. He says, mothers are currently pleading insanity for aborting their preteens. Yeah, it makes you wonder if you can abort a 9-month-old fetus one day before you've given birth. Why not abort your 2-year-old toddler? What's the difference? I mean, it's a human. It's a baby. Well, I've got a 10-year-old child, and I know he's 10 years old. He just had his 10th birthday, but he's just been misbehaving a little bit, and I think I want to abort him. Who knows? You know what? Maybe that's what they want.
All right.
Maybe that's what they want next. God, I don't know. These people are so it's evil. It's evil. It's demonic and it's evil. These people are crazy. Thank you, Rex. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Now we have a couple super chats on YouTube. On YouTube here. You know, can I tell you something here, folks? I'm looking at the schedule. Some kind of the same thing happens every year, and I don't know what it is, but every August seems like nobody really cares about politics. I'll be honest with you. August is like the worst month of the year. I don't know, maybe everybody's outside, they're having fun, they're on the lake with their boat, who knows, they're fishing, they're whatever. But honest, listen, as far as political intrigue goes, August, nobody cares. And then you get into fall and winter and everybody's maybe back inside, they're watching, they're tuning into politics again. So I want to tell you something here. And I don't want to get weird. I don't want to make it gay. Lord forbid, I don't want to make it weird and gay here, but hey, all of you that are tuning in, I appreciate it. Everyone here tuning in to the show every single day, YouTube, Rumble, otherwise. Oh, thank you all very much for being here. I really do appreciate it. We've got one hell of a community. Dare I say,